My name's David Bendette.
I'm Amber Bendette.
And we're the owners of Coffee Waves in Port Aransas, Texas. And our coffee shop has been in Port Aransas for 8 years. We're one of the longest, if not the longest standing coffee shop out on the end of the island in Mustang Island. And our coffee shop has been just such a source of life and joy, not only to us, but to this community. For 2 years in a row, we were voted Texas Best Coffee Shop by the Texas Hill Country Reporter. And this coffee shop has been a real staple place for so many tourists and so many visitors from around the country and around the world. But more importantly, a place where the locals have been able to come and just enjoy a good cup of coffee and good community. We started this coffee shop 8 years ago because of our love for the community and our love for the people. And we also realized that those coming to visit on vacation and the locals really needed an awesome cup of coffee. And so we decided that we would start Coffee Waves out here. Three and a half months ago, Hurricane Harvey rolled into town and completely wiped the shop out. The shop was flooded with 2.5 feet of seaweed and debris.
Yeah, some turtles and golf cart pieces. It went pretty far up the wall, and it was really shocking actually, because we thought we would have stayed safe because the building's pretty secure, but it all came through the front door.
Yeah, and it basically wiped out all of our equipment. We lost about $80,000 or so of equipment, and it was a real devastating blow to us, and not just our business, but the whole community was pretty inundated and wiped out by the hurricane. And so Amber and I had a moment where we thought to ourselves,
we had a decision to make, whether we were going to rebuild again, whether it was going to be worth it, whether we could even afford it.
Yeah, sadly I didn't have flood and windstorm insurance on the equipment. The building did, but I didn't have it on the equipment. And so absorbing that kind of loss was something that we couldn't even fathom at the time. And so we thought to ourselves, if there was ever a time to close the shop and close the business down, that would have been it. And
that was a very brief thought, because in reality we couldn't even consider not having Coffee Waves in Port Aransas. So.
Yeah, I posted the pictures on social media, and they were shared over 1,500 times, and we had about 1,500 comments of people that just loved the shop, and they were devastated to see what had happened. And then immediately we started having just such an incredible outpouring of support from the community and from people all over the nation that had visited the shop that said they wanted to do whatever they could to help us. And I realized that we've got great faith, and the last thing we're going to do is let a storm or a hurricane hold us back from what we believe we're supposed to be doing in our future and what we believe is supposed to happen in Port Aransas. And so that thought didn't last very long. It was about a whole couple minutes, and I did cry. I did weep in the thought of not reopening the shop, but we decided we're going to go for it. And we didn't know how we'd get the money, but we had faith for it. And so we decided that we're just going to do this. And so many volunteers showed up and helped us clean out the shop and gut it down to the walls. And I called my general contractor that's been with me for 10 years, and he got right out here, and we started getting right to work almost immediately. And the support and the outpouring from the people and even finances started coming in, and we just went for it. And that's when I really looked to Amber to say, okay, if there was ever a time for us to remodel, this is a perfect time.
Yeah, so I remember when you came home and told me your thoughts about if we should rebuild, and how is Port Aransas going to be after? Is it even worth it? Maybe we should focus on our other coffee shop for now. But really, I just remember thinking we have to rebuild for the community. This is a landmark. This is where people come on their vacations every single year. It's became their tradition and something they cherish. And I couldn't imagine that not being part of Port Aransas anymore. And honestly, I just had the faith, because I know that whenever trials come, I already know on the other side of it, there's going to be beauty. And that's where I came in with the quote that we have on the wall, and that we can't always stop storms from coming in our life, but we can always trust the one who's going to make it beautiful again. And really, the shop is beautiful. Really, we can't prevent storms from coming in life always, but we can always trust the one who makes it beautiful again. So with the shop, it's beautiful. And I'm not just saying that because I designed it, but I really do feel like it's so much brighter. There's so much life, and really it's just beautiful and fresh. So the shop now, it's just got so much life and brightness and beauty. I did a lot with plants. We changed the lighter color to a light gray. We used shiplap. Everybody loves shiplap. We brought in the coastal art, and to bring some pops of color, we did chalk wall. We have more seating options. So I really feel like the shop has been restored to more beauty than it ever had before.
That's right. So the remodel's kind of like new life.
Yes.
And even through tragedy and hardship with Hurricane Harvey, we made the shop better than it was before. We were able to expand the kitchen. We were able to do a better bar layout than we had before. And in fact, we have all new equipment now. So it's like a brand new coffee shop. And that's going to give us the ability to endure with great longevity for the future.
We still don't know what the future holds. We don't know how long it'll take Port Aransas to come back to the fullness that it was, but we have all the faith in the world to believe that it will. And
right.
We're here in the meantime, and we have faith.
That's right. And so we're so excited for everybody to come and see the new shop. So prior to Hurricane Harvey, we had 18 employees, most of which have been with me for several years. I have a very low turnover rate because we just love our staff.
It's family.
And it's family. And what really makes Coffee Waves great is the staff. It's not so much the product, but really the people that make it. And after the hurricane, I was a little bit concerned about retaining the staff. And of course, many of my staff lost their homes and had to move and lost everything as well. But I'm really glad to say that today, we have all of our staff back. 18 employees have all stayed with Coffee Waves, and all of the staple faces that you've always known and seen for years that love this business and love this community are still with us. And so 2 employees that I have that actually run the shop and manage this for me for the last 5 years are Matt and Sarah. Sarah Ellis and Matt Waldron have just been absolutely awesome.
Most importantly, building relationships with the locals here. They keep us going. They're very supportive, and they walk in and out our doors all day long. It's just truly amazing.
The locals in this community have just been truly great to us for the entirety of the shop being open, whether it be coming in early in the morning just for that early cup of coffee or late at night for a gelato and bringing in all their friends and family with them. I mean, if it wasn't for the locals in this community that's surrounding us here in Port Aransas, we wouldn't have a store to work in.
We wouldn't be here.
Matt and Sarah really make this shop what it is. They've been here for, 5-6 days a week, 40, 50 hours a week, just taking care of this business and taking care of the locals and the community and everybody that comes into this shop. And so the great news is even though it was so hard for them as well, they're still here and they're still with us, and they're going to continue to make this shop to be awesome. What really makes coffee great isn't so much the product, though it's awesome, it's really the people behind the product. And not only have we had such an amazing staff, but Matt and Sarah have really made this shop so much of what it is today. For the last 5 years, they've just poured their heart and life into this business. And they are still here, and they're still going to take care of the shop and take care of the locals and the community the way that they always have. And that gets me so fired up. And Matt and Sarah just amazing to me. They're family to us. And if I have my way, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
In the midst of everything, we really are going to come back stronger and better than ever. Rebuilding the shop, the flow of the bar, we're going to be so efficient. If you were here prior to the storm, you would probably know that our entire bar setup is completely flipped now. So when you first walk in, you're going to order instead of see the gelato. It's going to probably throw a few of you off, but it's going to be awesome in the long run, especially for those long summer lines. And we really just want to run this place the best that we can and be here open for the community and for everybody.
And it's really a new day for Port Aransas, and the new shop and the new build out and just everything that's happening here is so exciting. And so if you can come down on Saturday, December 30th and be a part of the grand opening, it means so much to us, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you.